Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikita, and today I'm going to share my celibacy journey with you guys. I have been practicing celibacy for the last couple of years, so I have a lot to share about this, and a lot of people do not even know this about me. That's why, I thought it would be great to share my story today. Guys, let me know what you think about my new camera gear. I really stepped my game up. I'm so happy with it. So I hope you guys like it. And yeah, guys, let's get started. I need to get a little bit personal to share this story, but I was pretty young when I started having sex with people. I think I was like 14. The first time I had sex, way too young, and it was an awful experience, to be honest with you. And yeah, after that, I got boyfriends and I starting to have sex with people. If I'm being honest, I didn't really enjoy sex, okay? I didn't enjoy it. I didn't feel fulfilled afterwards. I always felt empty. I always thought like, is this sex? Is this what everyone is hyping about? Like, I don't get it. I didn't get it. And this was just because I didn't feel fulfilled afterwards, The men were fine, but I also didn't speak, so they didn't even know how I felt. But I just felt like empty, very empty inside. And it was until I was 25 or 26 that I actually experienced good sex, all right? And so it took me a very long time. And this was just because this person that I had sex with was my soulmate. And I felt like this was a real connection. I felt like this was the first time that I actually really had a connection with someone, So it was love. It was real love. And it was also giving and receiving. I was used to giving love to men without the man really giving love to me, right? But in this experience, this was actually the first time that I actually felt love, high vibrational love, right? So I can still feel that experience, live that experience in my memory, It was just, I never had that afterwards, to be honest with you. But that was just the first time that I really enjoyed love making, okay? The reason that I have to say love making is because we have sex based on lust or love, And some people are fine with just having sex in that lustful state. But for me, I realized that I didn't like that. I really enjoyed sex once I had a connection with someone, once it was love. A lot of men focus on pleasing the woman, which is great, but I feel like for me, it's all about that mental connection and that spiritual connection. And this is when I have good sex, all right? You can please my body, but if I'm not invested mentally and spiritually, for me, it is bad sex. So, and this is something that I had to realize for myself, because in this society, this society is very different. The society is based on lust. So I always felt strange about sex, to be honest with you. Like, I always thought by myself, like, I do not really enjoy sex. I don't, not really. I would do it, but it would just left me empty. What I also needed to mention is I just had really bad experiences with sex. Not in the moment per se, but my experience definitely is that I would have a great time with men. We would have sex and they would leave or they would not call. And this scarred me. This scarred me so bad. Okay? Men, if you're watching, this can really hurt a woman. Okay? Especially if you're faking it and saying all these things, and this can really hurt a woman and damage a woman. This is a whole nother topic. But for me, this damaged me. And because men always left after sex, I felt insecure about myself. I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel worthy. I felt unwanted by men. I just felt like men just want me for my body. Men don't want me for me. And it was heartbreaking. Like, it was heartbreaking. It broke me. I also felt like every time when I had sex with a man, I would lose a piece of myself. I would lose a piece of my self-worth. I would lose a piece of my purity. I would usually feel very bad after sex. And this was just because I didn't receive that love from the men that I was with. And I didn't feel that appreciation, for me, for my body, for who I am. It took me also years to understand that it's important for women to not use their sexual energy to get a man. And I think that we are being taught to use our sexual energy to get a man. But, you will only get his body when you use your sexual energy to get a man. You will not keep his heart. This is the hard lesson I had to learn. Like, I can use my sexual energy for all that I want. And, I could get any man that I want just by using that energy. And a lot of women, I think every woman have this ability. We just use that sexual energy. We get that man. We can make men do a lot of things in this energy, right? We are definitely in control when it comes to sexual energy. But the problem with that is that you do not get that man. You do not get his heart. You get his body. And then when you had sex and he is fulfilled, his body is fulfilled, he's gone. He moves on. And I think a lot of women do not understand this concept. And this is also just because this is what we are taught. Use your sexual energy. Ladies, show your body on Instagram. Be naked. Wear a lot of makeup. This is how you get the man. Dance for the man. Do this for the man. Blah, blah. And this is not how you get it. This is how you get a man. This is not how you keep a man. And this is just something I had to learn the hard way. So I think there were 2 reasons why I started my celibacy journey. One was because I was attracting the wrong type of men. Men couldn't really see for who I was. I also wanted to test the men that I was with, if they were with me for me or for my body and my beauty. So that was the first reason. The other reason, I think, was also to work on my inner self, my confidence, my self-worth. I didn't want to tie my confidence to my sexuality, to my beauty. And this was just a very personal lesson and journey that I was on, because I do realize that this body will not be forever. This face will not be forever. And I wanted to really work on that, I wanted to leave sex out of the equation, to really get to know myself, to see my qualities, my gifts, what I'm about, what I can offer to people. And I felt like I just always used my beauty, my flirtatious energy, my happy vibes to get what I wanted. If I wanted to attract other men, I needed to change my behavior and my energy, right? So I didn't want to use my sexual energy anymore to get men. I feel like for women, this is especially important. Ladies, please, I think celibacy would be so good for you, because it's so important to not just rely on your beauty and your body. This is going to fade. Your body is going to fade. Your body is going to change when you get older, when you get babies. Your face is going to change. You cannot rely on your body and your sexual energy forever. So I think it's so important, especially for women, to work on our inner selves, on our inner qualities, what we have to offer, who we are inside. And that is such a hard lesson that nobody talks about. But celibacy, the journey of celibacy, is the starting point, because when you are with the man now and you leave your sexual energy out of it, what are you going to show that man? A lot of us choose our partner based on our sexual compatibility, on our attraction, right? How that person makes you feel, the chemistry. And I was like that. Like, I just confused love with chemistry. Whenever my body felt a certain way, I thought that was love, when in fact that was lust. So I really need to learn the difference between love and chemistry. And you only can really see if it's love when you leave sex out of the equation, because you have to see if there's a friendship, if there's a connection, right? So yeah, I think that was the reason why I chose to stop having sex. Man, if you haven't watched my sexual energy video, watch that after this. I will link it up here and down below. But man, I think trying celibacy would be so great for you. Firstly, to learn to control your body. All right, because a lot of men live in that lustful vibration where they're lusting after women all day long. Some men will fight with me and say it's biology, right? But I do not agree with that at all. It's really working on your root chakra, which is really based on your animalistic nature, right? And this is initially where your ego lives as well. Your ego is related to your root chakra. So this is the same for lust or greed or jealousy, anger. All these types of emotions stems from our root chakra. So if we want to elevate, if we want to grow in consciousness, we have to learn to control these emotions. Just like we cannot get angry or jealous all the time or have greed, right? This is the same for lust. Lust is a part of this aspect. And I think for men, it starts with learning to control your body, right? Learning not to react to every little thing that triggers you. Because for men as well, you can attract the wrong women in your life that will throw you off your path. So for men, celibacy is great to learn to control your body, especially if you struggle with sex addictions, all right, with porn addictions. You need to try celibacy to learn to control your body, learn to control temptation, really. And I just, the men that I know that are celibate have such different energy. I cannot even explain it, but it's calming energy, it's confident energy, it's very high vibrational. Funny enough, what I know about men that are celibate, they attract more women. It's interesting, right? I think it's because your vibration changes when you are celibate. But it's interesting. I notice with the men around me, they attract a lot more women now that they're celibate. I think that women can just feel that, can feel that control, maybe that sexual energy, that tension. But yeah, that's definitely interesting to know. Ladies, especially if you are attracting toxic men in your life, try celibacy, all right? Your relationships with men would change, truly. Men respect me now. They treat me very differently. Men do see women differently. How do you say this? I do feel like men judge women based on their actions. And we underestimate that sometimes, and they do distinguish a hoe with one night stand, with the mother of the children. They do distinguish different types of women. And we do not always realize that, but I've just noticed, once I started changing my energy, once I became celibate, men would see me different, treat me differently now. Women, especially if you attract a lot of toxic partners, a lot of narcissists, abusers, mentally or physically, you need to try celibacy because your relationships with men would change for the better. Believe me, you will not attract that much low vibrational men anymore. Trust me, because you're not in that energy. You will not attract men that just want to have sex with you. And even if they would just want to have sex with you, they would be on another vibe, another energy. Because they know that it would not work to use their sexual energy. This is what happened to me. Like, of course, when I am with the man, he may have those feelings. Okay, I can feel that. So it's totally fine. But just to say, like, the man will try to control himself because he knows that sexual energy is not going to work with you. You know, men know that. Now, they may try to be in the sexual energy, but once they realize that it's not working, they will step out of the energy. What happens then is that you vibe just on a whole nother level. All right, you can really be friends. You can really go deep. And this is how you really get to know the man you are with. You can see his true colors. You can see his intentions. And you only can see this when you leave sex out of the equation, right? So women, trust me, your relationship with men will change. You will attract different men, high vibrational men. I did want to say that I'm not celibate until marriage. Because if I feel a real connection with someone, I would have sex, you know, just for the experience. But I'm just very cautious of who I sleep with. I do not give my energy to every man. I just only want to have sex with someone if there is this exchange of energy, right? If it's love based. And this is just in the phase that I'm in. It matches with my vibration, and I just truly feel so calm and so happy. I would be celibate for 1.5 years. I would meet someone, have an experience with someone, and then after that experience, I would become celibate again, right? And then after 1 year or 2 years, it happened again. So I would have that experience with that man, and after that experience, I would become celibate again. So it's not that I'm celibate until marriage. It's just purely based on the experience, right? And I think that is the way to go. I would love to try to be celibate before finding my husband, or you know, when I find my husband, that we just try it until marriage. I think it would be like such a beautiful experience, but I do not know how realistic that is or how that would go. But I'm definitely open for it, and especially because I've just noticed people that have really strong and successful relationships usually had this moment of celibacy, this moment of abstinence within their relationship. There were two men and coaches that I needed to mention, especially for the women. I will link them down below. One is called R.C. Blakes, Pastor R.C. Blakes. He is amazing. I learned so much about him. I think I actually started my celibacy journey because of him. He really teaches women how to be a high value woman. It's really powerful. And he's like this father figure, right? That needs to teach you hard lessons sometimes. We sometimes need those words of encouragement, those harsh reality checks. And he's definitely a person that will give that to you. Now, the other person that I've been watching is Tony Gaskins. I love him too. Like, he definitely taught me a lot, especially about marriage, about keeping your legs closed, you know, about just not using that sexual energy to get a man. But he also talks just about the psychology of men and how men work. So women, I will leave their links down below. Please go check out their videos. I think these two men were a reason that I really delved into celibacy, right? That I really started to get a new perception about sex, because these men are very traditional, and you barely hear this, never hear this almost. So it was so fascinating to me. I learned so much about these men. They definitely kickstarted my celibacy journey. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you have tried celibacy, Are you open to try it? Leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, please share it and give it a like so more people can see it. I would truly appreciate it. And I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys